Do you think, because I have some friends that still work at Magnolia at Best Buy, their little exclusive shop in there, and I was telling Gene about this, that they're getting rid of like their stock in their stores from like Denon, Marantz, all the actually like all the receivers, preamps and stuff. They're just getting rid of it. That whole Magnolia section, some stores are just going all together. They're just if you want something, you have to order it, like special order all of that stuff now. Whereas in the past, they used to stock all of it. So he's saying that, from a retail perspective, that audio, at least for home theater, hi-fi and stuff, especially in those high-end rooms, they're kind of dying. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if the market is just like, they say movies is dying, theaters are dying. Is home theater dying as well, or just audio, video dying in these big retail shops?
I think it's a scary time. I mean, Jay, you could speak about this. You were at Expona, okay? Your impression. I'll let you tell your impression about the prices of these products and how they're potentially
Crazy.
pricing it out of the market for the next generation audiophile.
Yeah, Gene. I think it was a bit alarming because one of the videos that I did for your channel was the under $5,000 challenge for speakers, and it was a really bad time for that challenge, by the way, because I was going around and really, asking companies for pricing on their components, speakers, what have you, and even just for myself to review something, I want to know the price range that I'll be working with. Um, and some of the companies were not able to give me a straight answer as to what their pricing would be. It's like it's $3,000 now, but it may be way more than that in a month or 2 months, or maybe not.
Yeah.
The scary factor wasn't the fact that the price was rising; it was the fact that nobody knew how by how much. Um, and there were companies that were saying stuff like, we want to absorb as much of that as possible so that the consumer doesn't pay it, but without knowing exactly the dollar figure to absorb, they were feeling like they didn't know the MSRP of their own product, which was what was alarming to hear from my side. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a real challenge in this day and age because the aging audiophiles, the guys with the money, that's going to go away in a decade or two. And
Well,
you're
I
left with
think
the
the
next
direct to
gen.
consumer companies like SVS, Arendal, with like generous return policies on it
Yep.
and no middleman dealer markup, and I've been a dealer for 30 years and not a fan, but the reality is when you can buy a lot more speaker for a lot less money. And if you don't like it, send it back. It's hard to beat.
There's no risk with like the Arendal 1528s. I mean, that's a lot of speaker for the money. And like Don said, 60-day return policy. It's becoming a hard challenge to spend on the brick and mortars that are 3 or 4 times the price.
And I feel like it's not just the younger generation that's going to face challenges getting into the market. I mean, that existed prior to this whole situation, but I think it's also the mindset from the consumer's side. For example, if I was looking for an amplifier that I want to buy for $5,000, well, do I really want to pay $7,000 because that's the new pricing right now? Because a
Yeah.
few months down the line, it may go back to $5,000, right? So
I don't see. I don't. Once these tariffs, I mean, everything has already gone up. I
yeah.
don't see them coming back now.
No.
I feel the same way, but that's the consumer mindset. When I talk to a lot of the consumers, my friends, for example, that's into this hobby, they are refraining from spending because they feel that they might overspend now. It's the wrong time to spend, so to speak, because the prices will come down. That's the maybe that's not the reality, but that's the kind of the idea people have in their heads.
Yeah, I mean, I was just writing a test report for a company called Amped that has a Pascal-based 2-channel amplifier, and I think Don, when Don introduced me to it, I think the price on it was $4,000. And I
No,
went and looked at it
five.
last night. How much, Don?
It's five.
It's 5.
I
Okay,
don't want
I looked at it
$1,000.
last night. It's 6,000 now, and this is it said
No,
made in America. But nothing is made in America when you globally source.
Well,
parts.
the parts and modules.
It's a tough. Well, based on my bench test, that's a tough sale. And you'll see my video on that soon. But $6,000 for a 2-channel Class D amp that's built in a box that looks like it's from Radio Shack. That's a tough sale. So I don't know how that's going to pan out for them.